So hi guys and welcome to Test Drive Thursday. Today we are driving the Fiat FNM 210. So I've never driven a Fiat on Euro truck before. In fact, I've never even driven a Fiat truck. So this is going to be quite interesting. I found some really cool facts about it around the internet, which I'll get into later. It's got actually a really interesting backstory, but basically it is a Brazilian truck, and it comes from a JB art mods. You can see at the sort of bottom there, just sort of glowing lightly there. And then on the interior you can also see it there, and he does quite a few Brazilian truck mods and he does them pretty well. But yeah, as we do in Test Drive Thursday, firstly we drive to the upgrade shop. I'll show you all the accessories and add-ons that you can change and make the truck how you want it. Then I do a time-lapse of me building a spec that I really like of this truck. Then we go for a short drive, telling you about the history, telling you more about the truck, and then I'll give you an overall review of the mod. So let's get straight into this. So as you may have noticed, I am actually on TSM this time. So we are in Rio Calabria. Basically it's the most south you can go in Italy, in TSM at least. So if we head up to the upgrade shop now and get this thing started up. And it sounds pretty unique, right? No reversing sounds, and if break off, you've really got to build the revs up to get this thing to move. Else you've honestly got no chance. It is quite a hard truck to drive, but as I said, I'll get into more of the detail later. Let's just basically do a quick drive to the upgrade shop. But even without a trailer, this thing struggles. It just sounds old, tired, and as I said, very unique. It's really slow to pull away, so when you're pulling out of junctions, you've got to be really sure you can, because it doesn't have that much power. But because of the gear ratios, once you get in a higher gear, it really does go. I mean, I think I'm in 7th now. There's no real way of telling, but you know, 70, 75, this is kph by the way, 80, now 82. So it's not too bad. It is a rather old truck though, produced between 1972 and 1985. So got to bear that in mind. It is over 40 years old, almost 40 years old at the earlier versions. Later ones just coming over 30. But it's a vintage truck, and it's all, as I said, with the Kamaz that we drove last week. I do like different trucks. I mean, the Kamaz, that's a challenge to drive. This is a challenge to drive. It's nice to switch up every once in a while, and that's why I like mods like this. And it gives you sort of a taste for different trucks around the world as well. I mean, this is a Brazilian truck. We're used to the European trucks and American trucks. It's nice to try different things out, because what the chances of SCS making Brazilian truck simulator or Australian truck simulator are pretty slim. So I really do like to try different trucks from different countries. It's nice to mix it up. Thank you for letting me go. Can we make these lights? No, we can't. Not much chance in this truck, but now let's just hop over there and get customizing. Okay then, so here we are on the truck configurator. There is only one cabin to choose from. Cabin simple cabin, I guess, I don't know. There are 4 chassis to choose from. So you got the 4x2 with a 300 litre tank, you got 6x4, and then you got the 6x4 with the 300 litres. So there's not really much difference, to be honest. But you see the detail down here, I mean, just look at that on the chassis. Amazing detail. This is why I love JB art mods. Just great detail. Really do like that. But yeah, those are the 4 chassis to choose from. 3 engines to choose from. I have tried this. They do all sound the same, sadly. As you heard there, the audio isn't the best. I think he does really need to work on his audio, but as I said, it definitely sounds unique. But you've got a diesel, which I believe is the Fiat engine. And then these are Alfa Romeo engines, but I'm not too sure about that. But I've tried to research the history about it, but I do know Alfa did give them a 6-cylinder engine. But yeah, those are your 3 engines. There's 2 transmissions. You got a 9-speed or a 9-speed retarder. Not too sure if this thing would have a retarder, to be honest, so I did go with the sort of power shift there. Also, I'm not too sure if they do change the gear ratios. I'm guessing they would. I mean, that's a ZF box, but not too sure. Interior, so there is customization for the interior, but that's all in here in the accessories. But you can change the wheel colour, so I was rocking the black one then, but you can also have a light grey if you so wish. You can also customise this part here in the accessories to make it sort of fit with the cabin, but I do like the black one. There are some, you got all your usual paint colours. You can also have some different predefined ones from JB Art Mods, and he makes, so they do look pretty cool. I think with the metallic, I don't like the fact that it blends around. There's too much contrast, really. I don't think you should put black on it. I think you should put even like a lighter green or darker green or something, because it does give this weird effect that I don't like that much. But you can customize your own metallic colors. Sadly, you can't have like different designs like that or anything. You have to go with the normal ones. But those are the ones that you get with it, all the paints there. Or you can always have a stock custom colour, which I was using. I believe I used something like that on mine, but it's up to you basically what you go for, obviously. But yeah, let's move to the bit that you're waiting for. So this is the main customization for this thing, and it is pretty good, I have to say. There are a lot of interior options, but there are quite a few for the exterior. So you can completely move the number plate if you want. You can have, there's different ones, so I can't quite read that well, but it says Petrolina or Londrina. I'm guessing they're different locations in Brazil, but I'm not too sure. I'm not sure if this removes one at the back as well. Yes, it does as well. So if you want to go with that, a plate, you can, for a cleaner look. But if you want to make it more realistic, I guess, you could always opt for the plate. Right, and down here you can have some, or you can remove it if you want, which looks a bit weird, but you can have some sort of side skirts or fenders or whatever you want to call it, wherever you're from. As I said, you can remove it, but I'm pretty sure it's not meant to be removed. You see, the modelling looks a bit weird without it, so definitely chuck that back on. I went with the plastic because it sort of fits with the plastic bumper and it gives it a nice flow, but you can also go for the paint if you want to fit it in a bit more. It reminds me of the old Mini Coopers with the sport pack they had with the extended side skirts. They look pretty cool. Right, here's all your bumper options. So you have this sort of old metal look if you want. You got the plastic one that I had, chrome. Yeah, you can have the paint, sort of fits in with the this one if you go for that. But I do like the contrast of something like the plastic here. Sort of finishes it off nicely. I also got them with the chrome. Do add some nice detail, sort of pointers that you can see where the front of your truck are if you want, or you can remove it, but again, pretty sure it's not meant to be removed. Just find the dot again. But you can go for the chrome if you want to bling this thing up a bit. So moving on up, There are two logos to choose from. You can either have the Fiat sort of more modern logo, or you can have the old-fashioned logo classico, as they like to call it, FNM, sort of the name of the truck, or removed if you want to go for that stealthy look. Right, up here there are 4 grille options to choose from. You can go with the paint colour, with or without the clip on the other side. You can see it also slightly changes the colour. That fits, that is sort of an off colour, it's a bit weird. You can also go with a sort of different style grille, which is basically, it looks like it's just a radiator just slapped on there. It's a bit weird, to be honest, that one. But if you want to change it up, I did go for that one whilst driving up here, but if you want to change it up, go for that one. To be fair, it does look better from a distance like that, but as soon as you get up close, the textures do seem a bit low and it looks a bit weird, not being 3D, but yeah, the option is there if you want it. Right, what we up there? You can have a camera, so that's sort of the side view of the truck, but that is sort of basically another image it's loading, so it will reduce your FPS. Bear that in mind. You've got some different mirror options, so I've gone with this one here, and I have found that it is a bit annoying how it sticks out. I've got it stuck on the fence a few times. It's even quite hard to see where it's placed. So the pillar there is blocking it, and the same story for that side. So I'm not a big fan of those mirrors, I have to say. But they do come in a variety of colours, or you can have the larger, more modern ones, which I'll probably guess fit with this truck. You can have them in, that does look like plastic, paint or chrome, and they do work. They work a lot better. That side not so much, but it's alright. I do like those mirrors, and I think they fit the truck a little bit better than say those ones. But it does look like sort of big ears, but yeah, it's up to you. It's either cosmetic with that one over practicality for that one. So there are some sun visor options. You can have plastic, paint or chrome. Again, if you want to bling this thing up with the chrome here, chrome door mirrors. You can go with some is that air filters, I'm not too sure, or without if you want, but again it's just more detail. It's pretty detailed with all the cover on it there, or that orientation, depends which way you want to go, or this sort of tank. In the bed at the back, well, we got an oil, I'm guessing that's sort of barrel, not too sure what that is for, but again, nice detail. Down here you can have a variety of stickers and stuff to stick on. You got your GPS there. I'm trying to go through everything. Metallic. Oh right, so you can actually get different tank colours. So you can have the sort of square version here. You can have it with the sort of an old-fashioned look, or no rust. I do find that this is a bit low textured. If it was high textured, I'd probably prefer it better. Or the round one, which I do like, I have to say. Right, reversing light there, or without. I don't really think it fits very well, so I usually go without, but it's up to you. At the back you got some, I'm not sure what that says, but I'm not going to put it on, looks a bit weird. So different lights at the back, I've been using those. I think it fits the truck quite nicely, but got some MAN ones, or maybe these ones if you want. But yeah, it's basically up to you. So it does come with some its own tyre and its own rims, so you can put obviously the normal ones on, but they don't fit as well. But yeah, you wouldn't really want it. These are the ones that come with the truck. These fit nicely, and they do look really cool. We can go from, as I said, the stealth look with the black, or maybe red if you want. It's basically up to you. can completely customize this how you want it. You got the discs at the back, or the hub as it's calling them here. Different colors on there. That doesn't really fit, but yeah. Hubs, and yeah, they're all the nuts, so you can go for a completely stealthy look if you want. But yeah, they all work for the rear tires as well. Moving on to Cortina. What's that? Oh, curtains, right? Okay. So this is the interior options that I was on about. So you can go with some covers here across there like that. Adds a little bit more detail, but I'm guessing these will get pretty warm because that is actually the engine, and I'll show you that in more detail later on. Or without, you can see the hatch there. So those are the stickers, camera as I said. So these are the front panels, so depending on what you go for, so you go for the light grey. You can go for maybe that if you want, but yeah, you can customize that or without. Customize it to how you wish. Onboard computer or the GPS down there, moving it from here. I'm not sure what information that displays. I'm guessing it displays oil, fuel, any gear. So I may have that for the video just to check on things how are going. So you have this strips paint here, or black. I do prefer the black. Does look pretty tasty, that. And then up here, that is your visor on the outside. But yeah, that's basically all the configuration for the truck. But now I'm going to show you a time lapse of me building this truck to my spec. Okay then, so here is the finished spec. So I've gone for sort of a black, completely blacked out, black rims, black colour, but I've gone for the chrome bumper, the chrome door mirrors, the chrome visor, and I think it all fits really well, especially with the Fiat badge like that. It sort of stands out a bit and it looks really cool. And I have actually changed location. I'm now up in here at Calabria. Just went up here. And yeah, so I'm gonna pick up a trailer EACA. But yeah, the people who are regulars on the channel will have seen that I did a time lapse of this truck. Me driving it from north of Italy to the most south point of Italy in TSM. So this is the actual truck that I drove, and if we just go on here, doesn't actually say it, it'll say it on here. So I've driven 792 miles. And I believe it, yeah, I did have to fill it up twice on the way to do that far, so it hasn't got a massive range, especially when you're going rather quickly. But currently we got 76 litres of fuel left, so it isn't completely full. It's saying 85.8 litres every 100 miles, which is extremely high. And then you've got your gears there, so that's what that box is for. You don't have to have it if you don't want, but there's a useful device. And then you got the sat nav on the left, which is an iPhone, which is a nice cool feature, which you can see outside if you come here. Sort of see there the Apple badge. So that's cool. So if we start this thing up, I have got a really cool feature that I said I was going to show you. So so you got all the detail down here, which is absolutely amazing. I mean, just look at it. It's absolutely awesome down here, just the detail. Most people would overlook it, but if you come up here and then into the cabin, you can see that this is where the engine is. You've got the devices up there, you've got the sat nav, there's me, it's all. And then you can actually, if I just slow down and put it on 1, then you can see, if you come through here, you can actually see the engine, which is amazingly cool. And it comes all around the front here, and it just shows you the detail of this mod, because there's no way of seeing this unless you fly down here and have a look. Maybe if you look through the arches, maybe. No, you can't see it there, but it's amazing detail, and even down to the little springs there. So I really do like that, I really do. So anyway, let's get on the road and I'll start talking about the history of this truck. Okay then, brake off. Nope. There we go, brake off. There's no actually way of telling that the brake is off, which is a bit annoying, to be honest. But I did go for the ZF gearbox and the 440 engine, and it's much easier to drive than the 9-speed standard box and the diesel. I mean, it's so easy now. In fact, it feels a bit too easy now. The other one was challenging to drive. This one is pretty easy, even though the ratios are still a bit, the gears are still really long. It's much easier to drive than the other one. I mean, if I was in the other setup then, pulled away, I'd probably be really struggling then. You hardly ever stall it now. I mean, here, put my foot down in 6th. Just think this goes. I mean, it's got quite a bit of power with the 440. I mean, look at it. Just goes 90. Then I do have the speed limiter on, but yeah, it is really quick, this thing. And the one thing that you probably should bear in mind is that all of the interior stuff that you see in here, it reflects everything, so it's basically like having another mirror, or loads of massive mirrors, so it does reduce your FPS. So that's why I'd recommend going for these sort of black bits up here, so it doesn't reflect as much, and also the dash top there. I'm not sure if it stops the reflections underneath, but you're definitely not seeing them, so I'm not too sure, but I'm guessing it helps. It feels a little bit smoother than when I didn't have it. But yeah, I like the way that the sort of paint flows into the interior. I mean, the black paint looks really cool. This is just a standard black paint, but I really do like it. But anyway, it's the history of the truck, and before we get into that, some cool facts about this truck. The doors open like a Rolls Royce, so they open backwards to make access easier. You can see the handle is at the front now. I just find that really cool. It's doors opening backwards. It's really nice. And the FNM 180 and the 210, which is what this is, they were in production from 1972 to 1880. In my notes I've written 1895. I'm pretty sure it wasn't, but 1985. So as I said, just over 31 years. Jeez, I didn't see him. See, it's got plenty enough power to pass the truck, even though you can't see it at that mirror, but it's got all the power you'd ever need. So yeah, 13 years they were in production, those two trucks. And as I said, this is the Brazilian, well, it's a Brazilian truck, but it's actually a Brazilian of the Alfa Romeo Mille, produced in Italy between 1958 and 1964. So after off-roading. So after Alfa stopped making heavy production vehicles, they transported all the equipment to the Bressalin factory, and yeah, they started to produce these trucks. But this is TSM for you, basically. Oh, indicator activated. does sort the suspension is hard, definitely have to say, but it's not as bad as you'd think. I mean, I'm not touching the wheel now, that's just force feedback doing that. I'm steering a bit, but yeah, off-roading's not too bad. I mean, if we get this right, we can go straight over the middle, but yeah, it's not too bad. Let's see, put off foot now and see what happens. Let's sort of softening out here, get over the bumps. And then onto a gravel section. It does actually grip pretty well, this thing. It's extremely light, so it feels really good. And that is the force feedback that you're hearing. You didn't realise. It's pretty noisy on the G27. Slow down. I mean, this is getting worse. All of this to get to a farm. There's rocks. Suspension taking a bit of a battering over there. I mean, this is where you can see all the reflections. I'm doing 40 FPS and there's hardly any scenery around here, to be honest. About 50. It's pretty low for this PC. So it is, you do need a pretty good PC to run this thing in high. Just try and not run over any Italians. Pretty bad. Whoa! Whoa. Gotta be really careful around this way. But yeah, the FNM, it completely revolutionised the Brazilian market, bringing all the Italian sort of style and the European technologies to Brazil, which is, say, not so advanced. And it had a modern cabin, it had loads of tech upgrades, and this truck sort of the FNM 180 sort of stepped the bar for the market in Brazil in trucks. So yeah, it's pretty revolutionary in Brazil. So the FNM was first actually introduced in the 9th of August 1972 in Rio de Janeiro, in the old capital of Brazil, so before they changed it to Brasilia. But yeah, so that's when they introduced this truck, and it was introduced with carrier versions. It came with a dump truck for sort of construction, a refrigerated truck, tank, truck and trailer. It came in quite a few configurations, so it's pretty universal. And yeah, revolutionary. There, it's off-roading. Put it into second. Look at this. There's quite good ground clearance in this thing. It's pretty high up, apart from that of the snot, so it's pretty good on that front. Right, I've just seen I've got a warning on the dash. It's probably not very good, is it? But here we are anyway. Let's pick up this trailer and see where it takes us. That road really did batter this thing. There we go. Okay then, so this is the trailer that I'm going to go for. I'm not going to drive it all the way into Greece. I'm just going to drive it to Bari, the port here. Don't want to make this too long. But yeah, just drive it up to the port. I can complete the rest of it one at a time. So let's hatch onto this. I do believe this supports advanced coupling. I'm not too sure if I've got it enabled. But if I do, that will not work. So straighten this up. Those work a lot better this time, as you can see. No, I don't have it enabled, sadly. But I'm pretty sure it works. That looks pretty cool. So let's get going. See, it easily gets away now. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Yeah, much better with the ZF and that 440. But now let's head back along this road and then carry on with the journey. Right, here we are on the road now. Long off-road section now. Quite fun to be fair. Right, let's turn left. Can't see signs of Barry yet, or Barry. I'm pretty sure you don't pronounce it Barry, but let's let me go. See how easy it is to store this thing? You really have to build your revs up. Let's get going. It is pretty easy to manoeuvre, as I said. But yeah, much easier with this gearbox and that engine. So, as I said, it had a Alfa Romeo, or the 180 had an Alfa Romeo 6-cylinder engine, and that had a max power output of 180 brake horsepower, with a top speed of 96 kilometers an hour, or roughly, I think it's about 60 miles an hour. And it remained unchanged, the engine, until 1977, until Fiat changed it and released it with their own engine. I'm trying to get the gears right here. Such a difference between each gear. So hard to get it done. But yeah, it's designed for, the truck was basically designed for rough terrain in Brazil, and it had a carrying capacity of 20 tons to 40 tons, so it could do some pretty heavy work. So this, 15 tons of milk, pretty sure it's completely fine on, and it's completely stable. I mean, 90 kilometers an hour now, and a slight bend. There's no real wobble, quite jolty. It's really quite a stable truck to be fair. Nice corner, speed. It's nice and direct still, I have to say. I think you're quite low to the ground as well, so it's different to other trucks. You sit quite high up in Europe. This more feels like an American truck on the European roads. You sit lower down. It's really nice actually. And the 180 was only available in the 4x2, so bear that in mind. Then in 1978, Fiat launched the second series of the FNM series, and they released the 180S, the 210, which is this truck, and the 210S. They had the same chassis, but all the mechanical parts come from the Fiat 619 and the Fiat 697. They can continue manufacturing these models until 1985, when they decided to close the factory, or the FNM factory, since South America had one of its biggest recessions in its history. So that all ended there. And nowadays, Fiat Iveco IV resumed in Brazil in 2000. They built a new plant to produce the same models as done in Europe, the Iveco Eurotech and Eurotracker and Eurocargo. So Fiat and Iveco are now working in Brazil, which is pretty cool. But yeah, back to the truck. Let's see, we're on the motorway now. We're okay, let's put it into 9th, cruising at 90 kilometers an hour. I found whilst cruising down here in the time-lapse that it was really struggling with the different gear ratios. You couldn't quite get the right one. 9 was always too high. 8, you're sort of pushing it near 80. See, that's 8 here, completely fine. So this gearbox, I don't think it's realistic, but it's much better for motorway cruising. And then once you got it into 9th now, like I have, it's pretty quiet considering the engine is right there, right by you. Let's pull out in front of this Fiat. Fiat buddies, I'm sure you'll realise. But yeah, it is a really nice truck. This, the detail is absolutely amazing. It's one of the best trucks for detail that I've seen for ages. There are some annoying things like that mirror there, sort of this reflection on the interior, which is not very realistic at all. I mean, you wouldn't see the road texturing, would you, from here? The wheel It's really traditional, huge wheel. It's really cool, but where it sits on the seat, it looks like you wouldn't be able to put your feet down. It's a bit weird, that. Textures, although it's detailed, I find some of the textures a bit low. Example of this is on one of the fuel tanks. As I said, it's detailed but low texturing, so it does need to work on its texturing. And maybe, yeah, just a little bit more detail in the cabin on the dash, and then it's pretty much a perfect mod. I definitely recommend you giving this a go. It's a nice, unique truck like the Kamaz's. Definitely recommend it. It's a great challenge to drive. And it's fun, basically. It's different, and I think it looks actually really good, especially when you get the spec right. I think this black on black, for example, looks really good with the blue sort of highlights with the Fiat badge. It looks really nice. Really do like it. So I think JB Art Mods has done a great job again. And yeah, it's been weird because I've never actually seen this mod before, and I actually think it's been around for quite a while, but I've never actually had a go or seen it before, so I'm rather enjoying myself with it. It is a really, really nice little mod. Right, so currently on the motorway I'm doing 82 meters every 100 miles. What was that? I really don't know. There are some really weird clipping things I've noticed. Like if you go with the other mirrors, they do clip rather badly, so it may have been that, but yeah, 82 litres every 100 miles, that's pretty much why I had to stop twice on a 700-mile journey. But it's, to be honest, it doesn't really matter really. It's got character, this truck, you've really got to say that. I mean, just really wants to go, this thing. It's like, please rev me, really wants to go and pull things. I really do like the playful character of this truck, so I can do anything. Yeah, the clipping issue, I'm not sure if that's the barrier, but I'm stopping plenty in time for that. You've got to make sure you don't start in fourth like other trucks, because this thing just can't manage it. So it looks nice. The indicators are from a Renault, I believe. I think it's a Renault Premium they're from. They sound a lot like it, I think. But yeah, I'm not sure what if it even had an indicator sound in real life, but definitely unique. To be fair, the dash, it's pretty good. It does show 1,000,000 kilometers on the odometer. You've got the fuel in the bottom right, that goes down pretty quickly. You do need to watch out for that. And then the red light, that sort of turns on when you're low on fuel, but it's not really bright. You can't really tell it unless it's dark, basically. You've got the warning light up there, then you've got oil temperatures. Then you got in the middle dial is brake pressure. So if you got air brake simulation on, if you got that, you do need to watch that dial in the middle and bear that in mind. But the speedometer is really easy to read from distance, so I do like that. Obviously there is no right hand drive option for in the UK, so just stick with the left hand drive. As I said, this is for Brazil, not for UK or anything, or Australia. Let's come to a stop. Oh. I love the sound of it though. Even though it's not high quality, it just sounds, I don't know. Gotta really rev it though to get it in the right sort of RPM for the next gear. You can't sort of be economical with your gear changes. You've really got to rev it, else you've just got nothing left of it in the next in the next gear. So it's not an economical truck, I have to say. So if you're running your company on a tight budget, it's not the best truck to go for. But saying that, it is only 40k, £40,000 in game. So if you're starting a company out and want something different, want something old-fashioned, you could go for this. It would save you a lot of money, not on fuel, but the sort of primary payment for it, or what you pay in the first place, it will sort of balance that out. So yeah, maybe if you're starting the company out, you could go for one of these. It would definitely be a different way to start out Euro truck, even though it's not a European truck, but definitely different. It's not the whoa, Mr. Coach driver. Please don't crash into my 30-year-old Fiat, please. Probably quite valuable, to be honest. But no, nice truck. I really do like this. JB art mods have done really well once again in making this mod, as they usually do. They do specialities Brazilian trucks, I've realised now. They do that really nicely, so well done to them. Between this lane. Right, so around town the stop starts. This thing is horrible to drive. On the open road, when you really get it going, to be honest, it's not too bad, but it's quite playful to drive. But around town, I'm sort of stopping and starting and get my gears on. You have to be in gear, what if you go, let's see, challenge, gear 3. Let's try and start it off in that, to prove my point. Right, this is 3rd gear. It's doable, but you have to sort of go through every gear with this gearbox. I'm guessing if you go for automatic, you've probably got no chance. It'll be constantly changing too early, and it'd be really difficult to get this thing to move properly. There you go. See, it's got no power to begin with. It's really got to start getting it going before it sort of moves, and then it's alright, but starting off, it's definitely not great. Visibility, as I said, you are really low, but that mirror there, having the pillar, it really does obstruct quite a lot. But yeah, overall it's a great mod, But here we are at the finish of today's Test Drive Thursday. So if you have enjoyed it, please do click that like, and why not subscribe and try out this truck. The link to it will be in my mod spreadsheet, and the link to my mod spreadsheet is in the description below. But yeah, it's a great little mod. I'll probably give it a 8 out of 10. Got some little things that need to be fixed, but overall it's really fun to drive. It's parked next to this Merc. Show you size difference. There we go. Cool. Engine off. Right, there's the size difference. That sort of shows you how small this thing is. It's tiny. But anyway, if you've enjoyed it, make sure you click that like and why not subscribe for a lot more videos. But yeah, all I have to say is thank you for watching and goodbye.